In 3, 2, 1, I hit record 2 seconds ago, but welcome to the Weirdo Watchlist Podcast, the podcast that's slightly off, where each week, or every other week depending, we're still figuring that out, we watch a movie from the Weirdo Watchlist list on Letterboxd, created by the guy named Tyler. Now, last time we spun the wheel, we landed on The Fly, but it didn't tell us which fly, because when I made the wheel, I didn't put down what year fly we're talking about, so we did both of them. But before we get on to that, Sam, how are you?
I am very, very well, my friend. How are you?
I am good. I finally saw Alien for the first time.
That's right! You went to the...
It's like Dracula on a boat, but it's an alien in a spaceship.
I love the comparison.
Yeah.
It's... Oh my god, Alien, it's so like that Demeter movie.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay, so... First off, it was supposed to be a 35mm showing.
Yes, I went to the... Yeah, it was at the... I already forgot. The Parkway Theater.
Yeah.
And the day of, right, hours before doors were supposed to open to the public, I get an email, because I bought my ticket the night before. I get an email saying that the post office, the UPS, lost the package containing the film reel like a week before. Insane. And the theater had been scrambling, trying to get their hands on a copy of it, trying to track it down, but couldn't. So last minute, they decided to just do a digital copy they had on standby.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, better than nothing. First time to watch the movie regardless. So...
Yeah, and okay, so then, did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it, and I got a free pass for the Parkway to use whenever.
Oh, cool.
They gave them to everybody. It was good. It was a lot of fun, except, and I alluded this to a fan who was texting us when the fuck we're recording our next episode, that the one big downside to these big event screenings, right, for these big popular movies, is there's going to be some jackass who doesn't understand theater fucking etiquette and is trying his damnedest to audition for a fucking Riff Tracks commentary.
Did you have a couple of those, or
had a couple of them, but one of them, my god, was he persistent in trying to be the funny guy. It was awful. Movie opens up, right? That is awkward. Movie opens up with a long title crawl, long title sequence, crediting everybody. First name pops up, dead silence. Sigourney Weaver, everyone in the crowd goes hog wild. Justifiably so, she's the star of the movie. And then every name after, everyone decides to cheer for her also. And then when it starts to quiet down a little bit as, the bits being run into the fucking ground. And then it says, produced by some bozo. And I heard one dude just go, boo! Which, that was funny. Mix it up a little bit, to his credit.
It's credits, and it's not that big of a deal.
Not that crazy, but as everybody kept cheering for every fucking name, I was like, are we done? Yeah. And then as the movie kept going, and they're on the ship, they get the SOS to go to the planet, and they land on the planet, doors open up, they're ready to leave, and then I just hear one guy go, "Don't do that," from the back corner, and I'm like,
it's not even funny.
Not a peep from the audience, So I was like, cool, this guy's now that asshole, so he won't do it again. And logically, right, in the movie, they're legally obligated to go check out this SOS. They have to. It's the law. You're only saying that because something's going to go wrong.
Yeah. Annoying. Not a funny joke.
Not a funny joke. And then
don't go in there.
He kept saying different shit like that, too. It was so fucking annoying. And the scientist guy, he's exploring. He finds the big room full of all the eggs. And then he's just I found this big room full of eggs or something. And then the same guy shouts, or something. And then the crowd bursts out laughing. He finally got one through. And then, again, this is 20 minutes into the movie. And this dude had been saying some shit every other minute. Just making some snide comment about, the horror movie trope of the scene. Yeah. That you just have to fucking accept when watching a horror movie, let alone, one, like, all-time classic film, Alien, that we're all here because we love the fucking movie. This is, again...
Yeah.
It's not a Riff Tracks movie. We're not watching Sharknado. Right. We're not watching Howard the Duck. It's one of the most acclaimed fucking movies of all time. Like, I get it. We didn't get to watch it on film like we were advertised, but we're still here to watch the fucking movie.
Yeah.
And then he keeps like saying shit about like, oh, don't open that egg there. You're not supposed to do that. And then he finally gave another one like, yeah, unseal that egg. And then I heard one guy just like, do you have to fucking say something every time? And then he shut up for the rest of the movie.
Jesus.
Yeah, so thankfully...
Thank God for that guy.
Yeah, no, thankfully, we were able to just enjoy the rest of the movie, of course. A lot of like...
I felt dumb.
Oh my God.
I'm okay with that. You know?
He got one laugh out of the crowd and then deemed himself the funniest man on planet Earth until he got fucking publicly humiliated. And I was happy about that.
Yeah.
Other than that, crowd was very well excited to watch the rest of the movie. Screaming when appropriate, laughing when appropriate.
So besides the theater experience, for your first watch through of Alien, I mean, we all know, everybody knows what Alien's about and whatever. What did you think? Did you like it?
It's still a good fucking movie.
What you expected?
Yeah,
what you expected?
What I expected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alien movie about aliens on a boat, and yeah, it's still a killer time. I mean, one thing I like about a lot like these like classic movies. I'm gonna put my snob glasses on, tighten up my Letterboxd hat. These older movies is that they're on a real set. These sets look great. They're wearing real costumes and they're touching stuff around them. I don't get to see that when I watch fucking Captain America 3,
Right.
When, as much as I do love how stupid the floating heads look in the Iron Man suits, it's not real. But when I'm watching Alien, there's a guy in a suit and just standing there,
Right.
It's like in the Exterminating Angel, you saw the dude in the bear costume like 40 feet away. Except this is like a hell of a lot more convincing, but...
Oh, I know. Something about practical effects. I mean, that is a good... we'll talk about it a lot later, but practical effects being so important in making The Fly so fucking good.
Yeah.
And the same goes for Alien. I mean, the physicalness of it, the emptiness of the space in that movie, but then also the claustrophobia of the ship. All of it is just such a vibe.
It's a good vibe, yeah.
Vibe, and don't open that egg.
That's a fucking... I want to punch that dude in the mouth. As soon as the movie ended, too, I leaned over to like my coworkers, and they're like, Jesus Christ, I ought to find that dummy and punch him in the throat. And they were like... they agreed with me, too. They were, like, so fucking pissed for the first 20 minutes anytime he opened his mouth.
Yeah.
But, after he was humiliated so wonderfully, he shut his mouth for the rest of the movie. Thankfully, yeah.
I experienced something very similar to that. Have you ever watched the show Tim and Eric's Awesome Show? Great Job.
I've seen a good chunk of that.
Okay.
I haven't seen the full thing, but I did.
So you know who Dr. Steve Brule is?
I love Dr. Steve Brule.
Okay, so Tim and Eric were touring. This is the third time I had seen them, and they had Dr. Steve Brule played by John C. Reilly.
Was it John C. Reilly?
So that was like the big selling point of the tour.
Oh my God.
So I went and saw that, but this guy in the balcony just kept yelling stupid shit when he was out there, and he was just drunk, and he kept yelling little Stevie. He kept yelling, "Love you, little Stevie!"
Oh my God.
And eventually John C. Reilly was just like, "Hey bro, shut the fuck up." And then Tim and Eric were like, "Yep, shut the all in character."
That's awesome.
All in character. They're all like just shut up. No, we all hear you. Shut the fuck up. We stopped the show for you. Like just fucking humiliated the guy, and he left.
He left.
It was sick. He was so annoying. He was in my section.
I get it. Like the first time, like if you want to be that asshole who shouts at the one time, fine. But if you keep it up, you deserve to be shamed like that, especially in character by Dr. Steve Brule.
Yeah,
loves fruit.
Man,
I can't.
Tim and Eric's great live.
Dude, yeah, no, I literally just watched Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie like just the other night.
So good.
I watched it for the first time. Never got around to watching it. Yeah.
Oh my god, Top Gun from the top.
Wonderful, yeah.
Oh man, such a quotable movie for me too. Took a bunch of shit up our holes.
It's a real niche type of humor. If you don't like Tim and Eric, you're gonna fucking hate the movie. But yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it's one long bad joke, really.
It's funny though.
It's so funny. John C. Reilly's great in it.
Oh my god, as well,
Will Ferrell.
Yeah. So Will Forte was fucking hilarious in the movie too. It's like the sword shop owner. It's like, I fucking hate you. Get the fuck out, you piece of shit.
Yeah. That's for betraying us, Alan.
It's great. Man. Love it.
Fucking used toilet paper store. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's way off topic. That's probably a weirdo movie, I would say. But
it's insanely weirdo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it in the list? I don't think it is. I was going through the list, like I was like tidying up the wheel, like adding numbers, adding numbers on the wheel, right? So then when I land on the wheel, I know what page to look on, so I can figure out what movie it is instead of having to do the 5-minute Google search. I didn't finish that. I'm like halfway through it. It's a long list.
Really put in the hours.
Yeah, manually putting in like number 532, number 535, and then just all the time, just constantly putting down the wrong number and having to backtrack.
Huh.
It's awful, but it's for the podcast.
It's for the greater good.
It's for the greater good. I watched. You watched Blue Beetle? Was that right?
Oh yeah, I did.
Is that as? Tell me about it.
Oh, I still dislike it. So I don't know if you watched the God, what's his name? He does the pitch meetings on YouTube.
So he did Screen Rant videos.
Screen Rant, they used to be, and now he moved on from them, but is now just. But yes, they were a Screen Rant. I don't remember his name right now, but it doesn't matter. He does those where he talks to himself and he's pitching the idea for the movie. And he did Blue Beetle today. He came out with one, and it was very funny. And it just reminded me of all the things that were just so bad about the movie and how just cliche so much of it was. And
I didn't watch it yet. I thought I'd save myself the 2 hours.
You did not. Oh
no, I didn't watch it yet because
don't even bother.
Yeah, it looks like another bland superhero movie in a crowded market. Of course,
it's insane that they're getting to this size of like production, and it's still just this flopping this hard. How are you making movies this bad?
Listen, the big studio heads think they can just make a movie for $300 million and expect it to make $1 billion, which is insane to think about. That like you're putting this much into like your 4th comic book movie of the year when the market's been so overstuffed for years.
Yeah, that's what the pitch meeting was kind of ranting or joking about a bunch, was the superhero fatigue. Yeah. Superhero movie fatigue, and people are just done with it. They're like, nah, that's not fucking real.
I know it's not even like that we're sick of like superhero movies. We're sick of like safe, normal, just fine ones, you know? Like Guardians 3 is one of my favorite movies of the year. That's a fucking good movie.
That's a good movie, and
not even a good superhero movie. It's a good movie. They're real characters in that movie, not the Flash running around.
Well, with many more flops like this, they're gonna really learn quick what doesn't work.
We're still awaiting that Aquaman 2 trailer. Still nothing.
Oh man, we just need another Black Adam. That'll save the DC.
Yeah, that'll
Black Adam. Bring back The Rock. It's not too late.
Bring him back.
Oh man, this Blue Beetle movie just felt so Disney Channel original movie. It was like made for TV. I feel like Ant-Man and the Wasp So the second Ant-Man, and honestly, the Ant-Man Quantumania kind of had this same feeling where it was just, it felt cheaper and kiddish. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they've been holding it back. Not even because like I want violence in my superhero movies. I just want something different, something that like makes me care about the characters and the things happening. I don't want advertisements for the next movie that I'm gonna pay $30 to see. I want to enjoy my movie as its own movie. That's why I also hate Star Wars. Like I'm not watching that Ahsoka show right now because it's like requires homework. Like I'm being told what episodes of 3 different shows I'm supposed to watch before I watch it. I'm like, can I just watch it, please? I just want to watch it. And even then, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
It looks fucking boring.
I've been trying to tell myself not to go to movies just because I go to movies. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense to you because you go to so many and see so many, but like
No,
I just need to stop myself from seeing Blue Beetle. Like, if everyone says it's bad and they're explaining to me why it's bad, I'm not going to go in and say, well, I should know for myself. Just move on. There's enough other movies to see.
You can wait 2 weeks for Bottoms to come out because that's.
Oh, I'm looking at an ad for it right now in front of my face.
Yeah,
I cannot wait. It's gonna be. It looks great.
It's killing it in the fan reception. People are loving it. Yeah, people are loving it.
It's full of people that I love. I don't know if you watched Booksmart, and I might have already talked about.
I did see Booksmart. I thought that was good.
Oh man, one of my favorite comedy movies of all time. I think
people especially.
Love it. Oh man, it's like super bad for a newer generation. Honestly, in my opinion, for women, for non-gendered, for the newer class. And we love it. We love to see it. And Blue Beetle thinks it can be that, but it's not. You're not edgy and you're not trendy. They probably had some bullshit propaganda bullshit Blue Beetle, and I didn't like it.
Nonsense.
You know what I watched? What I watched yesterday? I watched Golda. Do you know what that's about?
No.
That is a movie about the real life Israel prime minister woman who was born in Israel. Sorry, was she born in Israel? She was born somewhere. She was Jewish in the World War II, so she moved to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So she was like super young in elementary school. Yes. So she moved to she immigrated here because of the World War II, and then she became an ambassador over there. Anyway, she is now the prime minister of Israel in 1970. And Syria and Egypt are attacking them because they still don't like Jewish people, and they are looking like it's going to be another freaking Holocaust for them. They are getting surrounded. This is real life, the Yom Kippur War in the 70s. I don't know anything about history, so I don't know anything about this, except for I watched this Golda movie, and it is from her perspective, the Yom Kippur War, and what she did right and wrong. I don't know, very controversial shit that they're making a movie about. And I was looking through all the comments on Letterboxd about it, and yeah, there's a lot of people really mad about it, and yeah, I watched that shit. So watch that shit instead of Blue Beetle. I loved it. It was at least thought-provoking. It was actually really well made. The sound of the movie was just incredible. Half of the good scenes were this old politician woman, Golda, who's played by Helen Mirren of Fast and Furious fame. And she kills it. She's like a big old deep character dive, super makeup-y. She's going for the Oscar with this one, right? But most of the scenes were her listening to the battle instructions that she has given. She says, "No, we are going to push on. We are going to push on past the border. Do not give up, men." And then her having to listen to the orders being pushed down to the front line, and then all those people die. You hear war. You never see war in the movie, really. You just hear it a lot. And so the sound design is incredibly done. It gets a little old just watching people listen to war. But man, if I was blind, this movie would be fucking killer.
Yeah. And I'm looking at it now, yeah.
It's good. I recommend it. Okay. If anybody's going to try to go see Blue Beetle, just skip it and go see something thought-provoking, I guess.
Yeah. I've got another based on a true story with that has noises in it.
Oppenheimer. Oh, okay.
Gran Turismo from Gamer to Racer.
Oh,
based on a true story. I watched that on
did you?
National Cinema Day for $4. Speaking of going back to movies that
doing your part.
That shouldn't be picked when other movies exist. Listen, I've got a soft spot for sports movies. I don't actively watch movies based around sports, but when I happen to watch them, or they're about racing or sports, and the movie's about them winning, and they win in the end like they're supposed to, I get all giddy and excited. I'm like, yeah, they did it. It warms me up. And that happened in Gran Turismo, and when he goes from gamer to racer, he does it. He goes from gamer to racer, and I was like, hell yeah.
But they did that in the trailer.
They do that in the trailer, yeah. But that's only during the last race, when he does become a racer, like officially. Yeah. Like he accomplishes what he set out to do, and I loved it. But everything that happened before it, for the other 2 hours and 10 minutes, I was just, it's a weird movie. The movie, all the advertising looks fake, right? It looks like a fake movie that doesn't actually exist. And I'm sitting in the theater watching it, opening, production companies show up. I see the fucking PlayStation logo with Kratos, Uncharted Man, Nathan Drake, women from, what's that game? Horizon Forbidden, whatever, the Horizon games.
Oh, yeah.
Aloe, whatever her name is. I don't have.
Yeah, I played one of those.
I'm an Xbox guy. I'm a PC guy.
You just don't remember because it's a female.
It's a woman.
It's a woman, and you're
I don't need women in games. And it's the movie, and it's directed by Neil Blomkamp. It's a weird movie. It doesn't, like, the whole time I'm watching it, it doesn't feel like it's real. like it doesn't exist. I'm still waiting for a real movie to be presented. Yeah. The sound, it sounds like a racing movie, like a car movie. But
sounds like Cars, Pixar's Cars.
But every so often I'll hear a PlayStation video game sound effect whenever he goes from 4th place to 5th place, and I'll see a little number go above his car that changes from 4th place to 5th place, like a video game. And then the movie will hard stop, and a 5 will show up, where he says he's in 5th place. So it tells you twice what place he's in case you forgot already. It's a very poorly edited in that way. Kind of goofy. David Arbor's in it, and he's pretty good. He plays David Arbor.
Yeah.
So, like, big stern father figure, where he hates gamers and doesn't think that they can become racers. But this one kid who goes from gamer to racer, he gets to him. He gets in his little heart. Orlando Bloom's in it, and he's...
Love him. Does he look good?
He definitely looks good, but he also, every time he's on screen, I'm like, I cannot believe that's Orlando Bloom in a movie about a guy going from gamer to racer. It's kind of absurd. It's an absurd thing to watch.
Yeah.
And let me fucking tell you, out of all the movies that I've seen this year, that have premiered this year, this is the one fucking movie where I heard people clapping at the end of it, unironically.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, weird. And I heard one woman walking behind me who just, like, so excitedly was like, that was so good, so fucking good. And I was like, I'm glad you liked it, but I gotta get out of here.
It's crazy. I would love to be in the mindset of, like, a casual moviegoer like that, and just, like, just a
general audience member.
Yep, like, yes, the good person won in the end, and it's a good feel good, and I'm happy about this experience. Cool. Great.
Yeah. He did it. Gamer to racer, everybody. It's certainly a movie that came out this year, which is, I don't know if that, like, again, it's one of the most absurd things I've seen, but it was better than Fast and Furious X, because Fast X does not have a guy go from gamer to racer.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There was no gamer part.
Yeah.
Come on, Fast and the Furious. You're missing a key element.
But again, I'm ashamed to admit it. The ending did get to me when he does go from gamer to racer, and he's holding up his 3rd place trophy at Le Mans.
And that got to you?
Yeah, no, that got to me. I was like happy seeing it happen. I was like, he did it. He did it. He won. He got 3rd place. That's all he needed to do. He's gamer to racer. He proved everyone wrong.
Hell yeah.
And
God, I'm happy.
Yeah. If I'm going to watch another racing movie, though, instead of Gran Turismo Gamer to Racer based on a true story, I'm going to pick Speed Racer or Ford v Ferrari. Those are 2 better movies.
I have not seen Ford v Ferrari.
It's such a fucking dad movie. Unbelievable dad vibes.
I love dads. Dads rock.
It's Matt Damon doing his job. Matt Damon's good at doing his job. The movie again. He's great. I love it when Matt Damon does that, and Christian Bale's in it as a hot-headed guy, like in real life. It's great, and it's a good movie, a fucking good movie, good dad movie.
I love your dad.
You haven't met my dad.
I'd sure like to.
Dude, back to Tim and Eric. I want to meet that dad.
I want to meet the dad. God, yeah.
Why'd you bring this meat into all this places? I think about that.
This rotten meat in here,
dude. I think about that one line specifically all the time, especially when I like catch a whiff of my fucking dog's like smells like meat, rotten meat, bad meat.
God, what a show!
Hey, awesome show. Good job.
Hey, boom! Title drop. Title card.
Yeah, I was watching that at one point. I think I don't even remember when I was watching it. Might have been just closing at my old theater job, or just casually at home, and my girlfriend would see me watching it, and she's like, how the fuck can you watch this? I was like, I'm watching it just happily right now. I'm just looking at it. And then it's just fucking Tim Heidecker and Eric just doing this absurd bit, just looking absolutely sweaty and disgusting with their cheap studio setup.
Love it. I could watch another hour and a half of that easy. What?
I'm just singing like one specific song they do.
It was so good that I couldn't even hear it in the mic. It cut out.
Did it cut out? Oh.
Yeah, like the frequency was like, no, we're not even gonna pick it up. Maybe in the recording.
I'm sure Streamlabs picked it up.
You know what? If people are still listening after that singing, then you know it was good and they heard it.
The YouTube watch time just drops. Just right there. No one else is tuning in. They're not even gonna figure out how we liked both of the Fly movies.
Oh my God, we should. Wait, I don't ever know how time ever looks.
I mean,
we talk about the main thing now, but no.
Yeah. I mean, we can start now. We're at 28 minutes.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, so
hell yeah.
We can cover the next half hour of recording and go over even.
Well, let me tell you something that's exciting.
Go for it.
Why I care about what time it is and whatever. I have a new job.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it's going to be temporary or what's going on with it, but I was able to start right away, which is cool. I start tomorrow night. All I do is a security position. And I've done those before, and they're very, very simple. It's usually writing reports. This one is sitting outside of a Best Buy for 12 hours from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Oh my God.
In my car, and every hour calling the security line, typing in my code to say that everything's okay at the location. And if something's not okay at the location, all I do is call them, and they take it from there.
That's it?
It's just a manned guard position that you literally nothing. It's just they need a heartbeat.
Even if something goes wrong, you don't do anything.
Nothing. I'm not even allowed to.
Now,
I'm
what
not allowed
Best
to
Buy?
Arrest anybody?
Now, what Best Buy is this at? So I can rob.
This is actually it's mostly a fire watch, I guess. And I don't know. I don't know if it's because there's construction or I'm not sure. It's a 2-day contract. They hired me today, and they're like, "Listen, we need somebody to go to this Best Buy overnight for 2 nights, and that's it." And I'm just like,
okay.
Cool. And they're like, and then we'll figure out more shifts for you next week. I'm like, cool. So, in those 12 hours, I'm able to watch any fucking movie I want.
Oh my God.
So I have 24 hours of movie watching potential, and the only interruptions I'll have will be to pee and to call into security office to type in a code. So
it's like my warehouse. It's like my warehouse gig. I just sit at the desk like cleaning like computer monitors, printers, other bits and bobs that get tossed my way, and I watch the fucking Matrix on my phone, just at my desk. And I've been watching like the DreamWorks movies just at my desk, clearing those out so I'm not shooting myself at my desk watching them. It's great. I watched all the Book of Boba Fett just on my phone while I'm working. Yeah.
Nice.
I tag
not a
it.
Terrible series.
It's better than ever. And people keep shitting on Book of Boba Fett. It's good.
It's pretty good.
It's good.
The race or the chase scene in. Do you remember with the hover bikes? And it seemed like ridiculously slow. Yeah, it seemed like ridiculously slow.
Yeah,
like
those scooters were awesome. People shit on them, but I like goofy shit like that in my sci-fi.
They were so slow. It was just like so awkward.
They got all those mirrors on them. It's so fucking silly. But people shit on Book of Boba Fett because Boba Fett doesn't do anything cool like he's supposed to. But Boba Fett's never fucking done anything ever in Star Wars. You go back to those original trilogy, he doesn't do shit. He shows up in Empire, talks to Darth Vader's like, all right, I'm on it, fucks off. And then in Return of the Jedi, he gets pushed into a pit. That's it. That's all he fucking does. Yeah. He gets his ass beat.
Wait a minute. We're forgetting one movie, though. The Christmas special. He does some important stuff there. He does his own little animated gig there.
I guess, but...
Very important.
Star Wars fans hate talking about that because it's terrible.
How could they? Oh, no. You love it.
I don't want to watch it. Do you think... I'm going to see if it's in the... I'm going to see if it's in the watch list. Maybe we can feed it for our lives.
Yeah, truly. Truly, it is a hard watch. It is a hard watch. It's long.
I should have typed holiday special because I'm just looking at a bunch of Star Wars. Here it is, holiday special.
You should type in hollandaise sauce.
Hollandaise sauce.
Also, viewers, I do have something super exciting for halfway point in the episode here. Before we get into what we're going to be talking about tonight, I do have something exciting. I have some Dippin' Dots popping candy. They are banana split flavored. And, of course, popping candy has the audio satisfactory factor. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put these in my mouth, and I'm going to let you listen.
I don't know if that made... All right. I remember when I said, like, people would stop after I sang that Tim and Eric bit. This is now where they're going to stop. Or now we've got the ASMR weirdos back in.
Oh, you guys should be definitely in for this. It looks so delicious.
It's also update. A holiday special is not on the Weirdo Watchlist, so we do not have to worry about it.
Good. They don't work.
That's so good. That's perfect. we just wasted 2 minutes. 2 minutes of me looking that up, and then you hyping up the viewers. This is insane. All right. With that spectacular bit out of the way, do you want to talk about The Fly?
I really do.
All right, let's get to talkings about The Fly.
The Flies.
The Flies, yeah. I want to start with The Fly, right?
Of course. The Fly.
The Fly, yeah. The old one, classic Fly, 1958.
Mm-hmm.
I went into this movie, right, expecting, cute, hokey pokey sci-fi 50s creature feature. And I was thoroughly fucking entertained. It's exactly as I described it. But I fucking loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. What do you think? The main thing I'm thinking about right now is how the main character is the brother of the scientist in this old one. And that he kind of just steals his brother's girl in the end. That part was why did they include that? Why did he's like, I am in love with my brother's wife, but I'll never tell him that.
Listen, I did some YouTube perusings about this specific one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And originally the movie was supposed to end, I think, with just the fly with the human head and human arm being killed, and then they just like, all right, he killed himself, it was a suicide, we're not gonna arrest his wife because this shit is fucking bizarre, this shit is slightly off.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to just end there, but the studio wanted like a happier ending, so like everything's fine, and I'm now banging my dead brother's wife. Yeah, so that's why that was included.
I love that.
But yeah, no, and the rest of the movie is fucking great too. You know, the movie starts with, you know, this warehouse worker discovering the scientist man's dead body squished under this big compressor, and he gives the best reaction I've ever seen in a movie. It's so cartoony, just like, ah! And then hard cut to police showing up, and they're like, we gotta figure this out. Let's talk to his wife.
Yeah.
And then she's freaking out anytime a fly shows up, like, wait a minute, no, what about that fly? And, I didn't expect the movie to be formatted this way. You know, with, like, the whole movie being, the whole fly part of the movie being a flashback, because she's recounting the thing. She's recounting the fly part.
Yeah.
You know,
and I feel like that happens like way late in the movie. It's not like there's like an intro and then it does the whole movie as a flashback. Like it's like the second act is the flashback.
Yeah, like
almost.
I like checked, I like timed it just about perfectly where it's like 30 minutes of
Oh, really?
Yeah, Vincent Price running around like, all right, let's see if we can get my sister-in-law to talk. See if we can get any answers out of her while she's freaking out about these flies everywhere. Yeah. And then, hard cut to the flashback, we meet the scientist man. And he's like, I've figured it out, teleportation. And, you know, like we already know, something's a bit wrong with it. Letters print backwards. He figures that out, solves that. And then he's like, let me put my fucking cat in there. See what happens.
Oh, no.
And he didn't even, like, you know, like, find an animal. Like, his cat was just in his lab, and he was like, hey, come here. Let me put you in this box and teleport you across the room. See if it works.
Oh, God.
And lo and behold, he opens the other box, and it's empty, but you still hear meows, like, echoing through space. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So the cat still exists in parts, but still enough to have a sentience.
It still exists, but it's not put together. The machine didn't put it back together.
And it's in the air.
It's in, like, they acknowledge it later, like, it just didn't get put back together. I don't know, it's somewhere around us.
I love that it didn't acknowledge it later.
It's great. And then the wife's like, how could you do this? You mustn't do anything like this again. You know, in that 50s style of talking.
Yeah. Oh, never test on animals.
And then he tests
animals out of it.
He tests on himself, and it works the first time. And he's like, "Cool, I'm gonna do it again." And then we don't hear from him from a bit. His wife goes to check on him because he's been, you know, in his lab for days. Slips a note under the door, is like, "I fucked up, but I'm not allowed to talk to you. If you bring me some milk and some rum." He gave me a real Men in Black Vincent D'Onofrio vibes, you know, just like, bring me sugar. You know, they can't forget about that performance. Gotta name drop that.
Yeah.
And, like, she's just, like, trying to, like, go along with it while still trying to figure out what exactly happened. And, like, he's got, like, a big trench coat on. He's hiding his arm in the jacket, in his pocket. He's got a big tablecloth on his head. We
know what he's doing, little pervert.
Yeah, he's wanking it.
Uh-huh. Hand check. He's like,
Yeah. You know,
I'm busy.
You can't see. I can't see you. You can't see me. I'm wanking it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's typing it with one arm, kind of like furiously. I don't know how he can see with the thing over his head, but regardless, and eventually, like, he is a smart man, I guess. He remembers where the buttons are. Eventually, he gets his his wife like pulls his arm out. It's a fucking fly claw, and it's awesome. Big, just meaty claw, just like blah, blah, blah.
It's very exciting was one claw, but goddamn did it rely on that being exciting for a hot minute. Didn't do any more reveals. I thought it was going to be I don't know why I thought it was going to be way more practical effect heavy, but just because the Cronenberg wanted to exist and I knew that.
Yeah.
Like I thought this one would have some, you know, corny looking stuff, but still practical. But really, it was just the claw for quite a while.
It was just the claw. We knew about that, and even then he put it back in his pocket until the big reveal when she gets the thing ripped off of him, and it's a big fly head. Yeah. She does her iconic scream, and then we see the scream happen in like a whole 30 different eyeballs, which is insane. Also,
that's right.
That holds up incredibly well, I think.
Yeah.
Just adding to the campiness of it all too, and genuine holy shit. And to the actor's credit too, he's twitching his head all around too, like a fucking creep, like a fly.
Yeah.
It's it's awesome.
Fucking awesome.
It's fucking awesome. And then eventually, he's like, you gotta find this other fly. It's got a white head and a white arm. And going into it, I already, there's not much shock to be had. You kind of figure it out. Especially if you've seen the poster, you see he's got the fly head and the fly arm. As soon as they name drop this weird looking fly with a white head and a white arm, you're like, they did just switch the body parts. And it did. It fucking did. And he's like, we gotta find this specific fly. This one fly we need to find. Catch it, bring it back here, we'll see if it'll work. We'll put me back in the transporter. We'll figure this out. So they spend the rest of the movie trying to do that. And then at the same time, he's losing his fucking mind. The fly's taking over. It's very, very dementia heavy themes going on. Here's what I picked up on.
Yeah, for real.
Especially when he's on the whiteboard, get fly before too late, and then just slowly losing his mind, just scribbling. Scribbling just nonsense. It's hard enough I can't fucking read cursive anyway, so I could barely read what he was writing down. I figured it out in the end, but
yeah, what a performance.
Yeah, no, it was a good fucking creature performance.
And they were long takes. I mean, yeah. That's kind of the style of the movie. of the time, I suppose.
Again, but just very, long, very steady.
Really padding some runtime, I feel like, but
a little bit.
Some of these scenes down there, just overreact, But that's
again, it's a late 50s creature feature, and
yeah. Given exactly what I expected. I mean,
especially given the contemporaries around the time where they're all kind of shit. This one rules in comparison, and I think people reacted the same way back then too.
Yeah, I mean it's iconic.
Yeah, it's good bit of fun tragedy going on.
Fun tragedy.
Yeah, I had fun. It was awesome.
So how do you feel about how it ended?
I absolutely fucking loved the original, the actual ending where, they're like, all right, the police are here. We're going to arrest you because you just made up some nonsense going on here. Your husband turned into a fly guy? That's not happening. That didn't happen. So they go to arrest her, and then, Vincent Price is still a little convinced, we have to find it. We have to find this fly. And then his fucking nephew shows up I found the fly. It's caught in a spider's web. I didn't do anything about it. So he runs out and brings a detective with him, and then we just hear help me. Ah! It's fucking just, again, it's just
your mic cuts out every time you do that.
It's a good thing Discord, fucking Streamlabs picked up. I don't care if Discord does
it. I can't wait to watch it. I bet it's good. It just sounds, it's
you're not gonna fucking believe it. You cut out on your end too, just for that part.
Discord.
Love it. Who needs Zoom?
But yeah, my God, that effect with the little. I'm not even gonna try to recreate it because my mic will just cut out. But the high pitched was so just cheesy. I mean, it was great.
It's fucking cheesy. I
loved what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's campy as shit. It's hokey, but again, it's so fucking. It's so fucking good. It's iconic, I think. And then just big fucking puppet spider coming in trying to eat him. And then that's not even the craziest part. The detective just throws a rock at the spider's web.
Yeah, just
picks up a huge rock and just throws it at the
spider,
web.
Probably
killed the spider and the dude's brother. The dude was just begging for mercy, just help. Did it cut out again?
Damn.
Did it cut out?
I think it might have.
All right.
I might have. I did a. Oh my god.
But I fucking loved it. It's awesome.
It is. It was.
Yeah, and then
it was awesome.
And then tying back to the original conference, like the movie, we're bringing it back. Ends with happy ending. They're all just sitting out having a picnic. Like nothing weird has ever happened to them ever.
Yeah, she's kind of already seems over it. You're like, all right.
Shit happens. My husband did science and he fucked around and he found out.
Yeah, dude, he did some science. You never want to do that. That's where he fucked up.
Now, moving on. First, out of 10, I want to do like number scores out of us. Out of 10.
Sure.
For the
my
classic
gosh.
1958 Fly. Because you don't put your Weirdo Watchlist podcast reviews out on Letterboxd until like after.
Right.
I'm impatient and I do it the night I watch it.
You do it however you want to do it. I just don't want to spoil you. I don't want specifically just you to see it. I don't give a shit about anybody else.
Listen, that's kind of cute.
Yeah. The things I did for you.
I get too excited when I finish a movie.
That's all right. And then I know that if you liked it or not. And then I'm like, you liked Alien, you know?
But I mean, I keep from describing my exact feelings.
Right. You always have a good quip to say. You're like the guy in the audience, but on Letterboxd where it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Out of 10 though, The Fly. You know, I loved it for what it is. It's just it's like a 6 out of 10. 6 spiders out of 10.
Cool, calm, collected 6. I like it.
Yeah. You know what?
A lot of people think 6 out of 10 is bad. But that's 3 out of 5. That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I got yelled at on a YouTube comment for somebody thought I hated the Mario movie because I gave it 6 out of 10. I was like, listen, that's positive. That's a net positive score, baby. I said I liked it.
The movie, that is the most 6 out of 10 movie out there. It's a great 6 out of 10 movie. It's a fantastic 6 out of 10 movie.
Yeah.
I love Super Mario. What about you?
Listen. I was thinking, solid 8 out of 10. But I was like looking at it on the Letterboxd app, and it was of 9 out of 10. Fucking awesome movie. I loved it. And then I got yelled at by one of these kids that follows me on Letterboxd, like, you fucking 4.5 for this movie, dude? Are you nuts? And I just replied to him like, straight banger, man. Loved it.
Straight banger. And honestly, it's great. And if it catches you at the right time, a fucking nostalgic ass 50s creature feature, if it can sell you while you're watching it, fucking sold me. It can be a 9 out of 10. It can be a 10 out of 10. It doesn't have to be anything special. It delivered exactly what it needed to deliver, and that's maybe why it's a 9 out of 10 for some people.
Yeah,
but
I never take any of my ratings super fucking seriously. I mean, I take them a little seriously because I'm like, is this movie really 9 or 10 out of 10? I don't know. I'm not whatever feels comfortable for me, to attach
your rating. That's
attach a number to. Yeah, it's my fucking rating, And again,
I love that because the more I talk to you, the more I see your opinions on movies on Letterboxd, I understand where your mindset is coming. So when you see something like, I don't know, random movie, Asteroid City, did you see that one yet?
Yeah, saw it I think opening weekend.
And I could understand your frame of reference when you would give that a certain score because I know what you kind of like from what I've seen you review things in the past. So that's why everything is so subjective. It's a 4.5 out of 5 for me because I fucking enjoyed it that much. I'm not rating it on the technical aspects of it or anything else, but my enjoyment,
pure enjoyment level, And I'm gonna fucking punch any fucking nerd who goes 7.2 out of 10. If you're thinking about the number specifically that hard, where you gotta put decimals or you're doing it out of 100. I hate you. I'll read what you have to say about it, but I don't care what your number is. Just out of 10, that's all I need.
To fraction it up a little. 4 out of 7. This
4
feels
like
a 4 out of 7 type of movie.
Just real get goofy with it.
Yeah. 7 stars. I'm gonna give it 4 for real. The Fly, 4 out of 7.
4 out of 7 stars for Sam Fashion's opinion on The Fly. All right, speaking of The Fly.
Oh, I love The Fly.
How about Cronenberg's Jeff Goldblum The Fly?
I love that one even more.
That one was absolutely even more fucking insane.
Is this your first watch of it?
I'd never seen it before. A friend of the show, Vince, has been telling me to watch The Fly for like years at this point.
Yeah.
Like 5+ years. He's been telling me, you gotta watch The Fly, man. It's crazy. And I was like, all right, I'll get to it. Got to it. As soon as we spun that wheel and landed on The Fly, I was like, dude, finally gonna happen. Watching The Fly.
Okay. It's an easy watch. It's an hour and a half. It breezes by.
Yeah. Jeff Goldblum is honestly fantastic. See, I'm used, at this point, right? Retirement age Jeff Goldblum. Every movie, he's Jeff Goldblum. You know, he's like, look at me. I'm Jeff Goldblum. You know, I'm Jeff Goldblum. What is that thing over there I'm looking at over there? And here's, like, it's a real performance.
Yeah.
You know, he's, like, committed to being
Jeff
this...
Goldblum,
yeah, it's a Jeff Goldblum as a scientist, but he plays a scientist.
Yeah.
He's not the Grandmaster in Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, sexy.
Emphasis.
Yeah,
I mean, the movie's making emphasis, not me, per se. I'm just saying the movie is shoving it in your face.
Dude, what dude's got a package. Special delivery.
He's ready to deliver, yeah. And Gina Davis is not shy about... making the first move, and I loved that. I loved that about this movie. I don't know if you really...
See, I was not ready, right? I've yet to go through Cronenberg's movies. I've seen Videodrome, and that was awesome. You know, dude's got a vagina on his stomach.
Sick.
Yeah, like you know, long live the new Flesh. But I guess I just never expected any of Cronenberg movies to be just incredibly horny in a very gross way. Not gross that it, you know, I'm like feeling inappropriate, you know, like this is gratuitous, but you know, in a movie where a dude's got a vagina on his stomach, that's a weird type of horny. You know, and like The Fly, you know, where like the dude's like, you know, like I'm a sex machine now because I teleported myself. No other reason, you know. We gotta be banging all the time, like
sex machine. Yeah, truly.
He calls himself that. I'm a machine. Now you gotta teleport too, so you can also become a sex machine. I'm a perfect human. I have been
purified in the primordial goo.
Yeah.
I really want to learn his big old monologue there where he first storms out on her after he blows up on her saying like, no, you're not keeping up with me. He's all crackhead energy, right?
Yeah.
I want to learn that whole monologue because he's talking about primordial goo and he's like throwing out all this crazy like vocabulary. I just want to learn it. Like a speech kid in high school. I just want to know how to say all of those in the way he says it. Mm-hmm. Is that weird?
No. I mean, it's a weird speech to memorize. Most people go for, you know, like Charlie Chaplin's Great Dictator speech, or I think at one point my girlfriend memorized a good chunk of a speech from, I think it's one of the original Planet of the Apes sequels. I forgot which one it is.
Oh, really?
That's just like, when there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's fire, there's revolution. Something like that. I don't remember the speech, but she might.
See, it's good to have those weirder ones in the back pocket. You know, that's interesting.
Pull them out.
Just drop them out. Let me see them.
Titties.
Yes. I didn't know if I should say it. I didn't. You know,
listen.
It's a bad word.
I don't care. Like, listen. What kid's gonna watch a podcast about movies? No. What women's gonna watch a podcast about movies?
White guy started a podcast about movies?
That's crazy. That's such a new idea.
You better go check that thing
out. Back to The Fly.
If they liked The Fly, if they liked The Fly, they would.
Back to The Fly.
We were horny. Sorry.
We got horny. We started talking about titties. Yeah. So the movie starts completely different. I was expecting kind of the same format, but the only real similarity between this, like Cronenberg's Fly and the original, is guy turns himself into a fly. In terms of like what that means, in terms of like themes, is completely different. You know, especially like the movie starts with Jeff Goldblum explaining, like, I'm a scientist. I do science stuff. You know, I'm working as a scientist, you know? And then he's like, you should check out my lab where I teleport things, but it's a secret. Don't tell anyone yet.
He was just trying to hook up with Gina Davis.
He was just a little, yeah. I think that's what he was going for because he's Jeff.
He's like,
Goldblum.
wait, you're a journalist, and then he was like fucking pissed.
Oh my god, you're writing this down, my incredible invention that I'm going to win awards for.
It was like trying to pick her up. Is that what it was? I don't know.
I think so.
Kudos on him.
I think so. I mean, he did it. It worked.
Window. Whoa. My window. There we go. People can look. People were looking at me. My neighbors were looking at me through the window, looking at Jeff Goldblum half naked in a telepod.
Listen, so that's understandable.
I had to shut the window.
That's understandable, though.
Yeah, they can't judge me. Only God can judge me. And Jeffrey.
Jeffrey
Goldblum.
Jeffrey Goldblum. So
Chef Goldblum.
Chef Goldblum? What the fuck was
From
that?
the Tim and Eric.
Tim and Eric. We're back at Tim and Eric.
Boom. Hi, I'm Chef Goldblum.
Okay, The Fly, Jeff Goldblum. So, yeah, and he's got his whole big machine. Where are we going with this? We're still talking about The Fly.
We're still talking about The Fly. We were talking about basically how he was a normal scientist, and then he went through the machine, became a hornball.
What this movie also does differently is when he gets to animal testing, he puts a full baboon. He gets a baboon, not his cat, not his personal cat, but a full baboon into the machine, and then he teleports it, and it fucking turns inside out. It doesn't get lost in space-time. It just gets fucked up. And it's still like thrashing around, just trying to live. And I'm like, honestly, which one's crazier, the cat just meowing in space particles or an inside-out baboon? Fuck if I know. You know, this know. Like
visually, definitely
visually, it's the baboon, but which got the crazier reaction out of me, I think was the cat.
Honestly, David Cronenberg is so dope.
Horny too.
But goddamn, is his all of his practical effects? I'm sure
he's got a team, but he tells them what to do real good.
Real good. It's God, there's some really disgusting shit in this.
It's so fucking
all of his movies.
So fucking gross, yeah.
Hell yeah.
But when he turns into like the Fly, when he starts feeling the symptoms, that's when it really starts to like lose himself too, because he thinks he's improved his DNA tenfold. Like he thinks he is a new sex machine, a golden god.
Yeah.
Wants his girlfriend to go through it, but she's scared because she's getting fucking teleported. She doesn't know what the fuck's gonna happen. She watched a baboon get turned inside out. That surely would fuck me up if I saw that. But eventually he starts like showing signs too. His skin gets a little scabby. Of course, he's got like the superhuman strength. He snaps a dude's arm in half. Like standing up.
Oh yeah, to pick up that chick.
Picking up chicks. I'm gonna arm wrestle you and break your arm, and it worked. She was super impressed. Like, you fucked that dude up. He's going to the hospital, but we will go bang at your apartment. But just don't put me in any weird science pots to teleport me across the room, please. And then
not this time.
Yeah, and then of course he still tries to do it because he thinks he's a golden god, even though he's getting crustier by the minute. Eventually, he figures out he's been turned into like a half man, half fly, and it's getting worse. And that kind of like goes back to
getting worse. It was good for a while.
It was good. He was doing mad gymnastics in his apartment, But it's getting worse, and just the slow progression. He's like popping his skin, he's peeling his fingernails off, which is fucking nasty. And he's like, eventually his girlfriend shows back up after like weeks, and he's like, you want to see the pile of goop that's been falling off of me I got in my bathroom? That's insane. That's new. But yeah, no, a fly got in the pod with me at some point, and now we've merged. The computer didn't know what to do with the two of us, and it just put us together. And he just kept thinking about like, can I, improve this? Let me put another person in the pod with me to even it out, I've got too much fly going on. I need more human.
Yeah.
One fucking thing that really fucked me up too, girlfriend finds out she's pregnant.
Yeah.
So she's like, I gots to get this abortion. She has a fucking dream sequence where she gives birth to a huge fucking maggot. And this thing is just ginormous. This is way larger than any baby I've ever seen.
God, yeah, I'm horny just thinking about it. Yeah.
That's not what I was worried about.
No, not the not the vibe you were going with.
Not what I was thinking. No.
I'm rubbing my hands together like a little fly over that.
Fly. That was a lot of people's.
David Cronenberg giving me that weird horny juice, as in a dream sequence of a girl giving birth to a slug-looking thing.
But the only complaints, the reoccurring complaints I've seen for both these movies is nobody did the hand thing like a fly.
Yeah.
Both movies I saw that. But
it's time for another remake then.
Time for another remake. Let's do it like the Thing remake, where it's awful. I don't know if I saw it. It's awful and it's CGI.
Let's do it.
But and like Jeff Goldblum, he's like losing. He's like, I'm the fly guy now. I can teach kids about what it's like to be a fly guy. You know what did he call himself? You know, he called himself something goofy. Brundlefly. Like he called himself like, I'm Brundlefly now, you know? I just gotta deal with this, you know? Look what happens when I try to eat food. My teeth are soft and I can't crunch food, so I have to throw up on it and just suck it all up. And he does it on camera, but we don't get to see it as much as I would have loved to. You know, and then like, you know, he finds out she wants the abortion because she's fucking terrified of giving birth to a fly guy, a Brundlefly Jr. So he gets he gets sad, kidnaps her. Like, if you teleport with me, then I'll only be like 33% fly and see if it works. You know, like this is the only way me, you, and the baby can be together is if we fucking combine in the machine. And he's already built a pod. He's falling apart. And, like, he's too far gone at this point, but not in the same way as the other guy, the other fly, you know, where he's like, just fucking kill me.
Right.
You know, like, the classic fly had, like, themes like dementia and euthanasia. This one I just felt like was just addiction. You know? Like addiction and, like, again, like, terminal illness maybe with how, like, it's just getting worse, but maybe that's just, again, just hardcore addiction.
Addiction and something pretty horny.
Yeah, I'm a sex man. I'm a sex machine. Keep it coming.
I think David Cronenberg probably just watched the original Fly, but was also just super horny and was like, you know what? I could make this hornier.
I could make this way hornier. I was going to make it, again, I said this in my Letterboxd review. I was going to make a joke. I was like, Cronenberg out here really saying, enough chit-chat, let's get horny. But when I finished the movie, I was just I was slack-jawed, you know? I couldn't. I was just, like, thrown for a loop.
I can't do it, David.
Can't do it. Can't make a joke about this with this fucking ending you hit me with. You know, he's trying to shove her in a pod, and then he's, like, actively falling apart now. These practical effects are disgusting, you know? He grabs his face and his jaw falls off. Let's dive into that. The whole point of the movie is the practical effects. And this, final transformation into a fly. This huge human-sized fly. It's insane.
Nuts. All the goo you would ever need. And the way everything is shot in this, not even just the fucking practical effects scenes, but even just, like, all the scenes prior with a lot of the montage, like almost montagey shit when they would go through the teleporter. I loved how everything is shot. Like a lot of B-roll of just static shots in the fucking laboratory and just the atmosphere of the whole thing. So fucking good. But the practical effects, obviously.
That's, again, best part of the movie there, too, yeah.
The reason people talk about it, honestly. I feel like the reason it's what, you know,
still like as highly
important
regarded,
as it is. Yeah. And I had seen it before.
Earlier I said I'd never seen it, so I had no idea what the fuck to expect, except for the effects. You know, I have seen the clip of her like shooting the fly in the face. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had seen a lot of like the final transformation, but in the context, I was just losing my mind. You know?
So, I'm looking up VFX. I wonder if there was like the team behind it, if it was like the same people on The Thing. Carpenter's The Thing. When that come out, the 80s?
Yeah,
as well?
yeah. I think like 85, I think.
Because I feel like they're both like kind of neck and neck with how good and gross their shit is. I just want
I don't know if that counts as like makeup, because I know like the person who did The Fly also did Videodrome and a couple other Cronenbergs. So recycling that, or if it's like visual effects. But this guy only did like a couple Cronenbergs, Gremlins 2, and Return of the Jedi.
Sick.
Oh, and Gremlins 1, there it is.
Whoa.
This visual effects guy did nothing I've ever heard of, except for Butterfly Effect 2. And then Hoyt Yeatman, Jimmy Cameron's The Abyss, The Blob remake, The Rock, Armageddon, and Underdog. So we're gonna have to dig deep into who the actual like effects team was.
Yeah, I'm actually reading something right now.
Letterboxd ain't telling me nothing.
Yeah, this doesn't tell me anything about the people who did it, but it's telling me that the fly's acidic vomit was made up of milk, eggs, and honey.
Oh, that's gonna smell kind of awful. I imagine the honey's doing some of the heavy lifting for the smell.
Yeah,
but
just
milk and eggs, I imagine, is not doing too much favors.
Oh, and just the consistency. I could see it now. You know, like that it makes sense. The eggs and the honey are just gross, sloppy, slimy movie. Love it.
Disgusting. So like again, we're talking about this final transformation. You know, more of them's like falling apart. You know, his head splitting open to reveal a smaller fly head, and he's just like bending in all sorts of weird ways. It's just the slime, the effects, the goop, and again just like the crunching of it all is horrifying, especially, you know, again, in context of the Seeking. You know, these two were romantically involved. They were sex machines together, almost. And as he's, like, still transforming, you know, into an actual monster, he's trying to, you know, effectively kill her by putting her in this pod to, like, send her off into the transforming machine and become less of a fly guy, maybe, if that'll work. And then, like, he fucks it up. Something happens where, like, they cut the door off of the transformation pod, and she gets out of the pod, but the door and the fly, the Brundle fly, get transported together and combined into fucking just this deformed fly machine thing.
Yeah.
And it's just horrifying. It's
trying to look up the melting hand scene.
The melting hand scene, that was insane too.
The vomit, yeah.
You know, good. Like he throws up on the dude's hand and it fucking melts off.
And that character is so...
He's so sleazy on top of it, because...
He's so sleazy. I love that. I love when movies add in just a piece of shit kind
just
of.
An awful guy, yeah.
That will get their comeuppance for no reason, except for they're shitty. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Loved it. Loved it. Love that guy. Stathis Barans was the character's name.
That's the character's name, okay.
I guess.
Hey, and again, he's like creeping the whole time, but, you know, he's like trying to, like, you know, like not let this teleportation happen. He's got a shotgun, shoots the machine a little bit to disable her door. And again, like the fly gets teleported and combined with a part of his own machine. And he's like crawling around with a piece of door sticking out of him, a piece of machinery, looking like just this fucking insane Cronenbergian thing. and you know, like the girlfriend has to like put this poor thing out of its misery and kill it, and that's when the movie ends. There's no epilogue. There's no like, I had to do what I had to do. Let's be merry with ourselves. No, she's like crying with the shotgun in her hand as her fucking boyfriend's been turned into the fucking grossest thing ever.
A Cronenberg wet dream.
Yeah, and the movie just cuts to credits, and that's when I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to make a joke out of this? I texted Vince and was like, dude, what the fuck? It was insane. It was amazing. I loved it.
I want to make a joke about it now. I want to think of a good one. I want to think of a good joke.
Hard to do it on the spot.
It really is. I'm trying to think of. So a man gets turned into a half fly, half door creation. Gina Davis has to kill it. There's something there. Gina Davis. I love Gina Davis, by the way. Not to step on my own joke here that I'm not obviously coming up with, but love her. I forgot she was in it, and then I was happily reminded when I put on the movie. I was like, oh yeah, she rocks.
Yeah, no, she's fantastic in the movie, and then it's just such a fucking tragic ending for a movie. It was just so like, again, just slack-jawed, floored, and I couldn't even begin to like think about like anything happy. After I finished the movie, I turned my computer off and just went to bed. There was nothing I could have done for the rest of the night that would have just gotten me away from what I had watched. It was insane.
Oh man, I love that kind of thing. I love practical effects.
It's such a good movie. Again, like it's really there, standing in front of them, blowing up, sliming all over the place.
Yeah, I was surprised how much I enjoyed the movie outside of that stuff too, because I knew I loved that stuff, and that's what I was like.
Yeah, I was expecting that stuff to be good too, and
honestly, it wasn't enough to get me excited about the movie again. I was like, okay, I've got to rewatch this at some point, and it's fine, and I love that kind of stuff. But the rest of the movie just holds up as a movie as well, and I didn't remember that really. I didn't really remember all the other bits. And I'm glad it fucking holds up fucking very well. Jeff Goldblum's a killer.
Yeah, fantastic fucking watch. Jeff Goldblum's fantastic. Gina Davis is great. And again, like the effect. Again, like, I keep gushing about the effects, but that's the point of the movie. Is that's also fantastic. And again, everything around the movie too is slow fucking descent into becoming a monster.
Yeah,
is great.
Slow, and then the ramp up.
It starts so slow and then just keeps fucking escalating way quicker than anyone could have been prepared for.
Yeah. Love that. Have you seen the movie Possession?
No, I think we talked about it, like, I think episode 1. No, episode 0, we talked about it.
Yeah. Good old pilot.
Yeah, the pilot.
That's one you should watch, and it has something, some weird practical effect monster towards the end that I feel like you would enjoy.
Okay, yeah, that's Sam Neill, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Jurassic Park himself.
Yeah.
Mr. Hunt for the Wilder People. Have you seen that?
I have not. No.
I've
been meaning to go to that one, but Taika Waititi's just like he got too popular.
Not for you.
It's not that he's not for me. It's just like, like 4 years ago, I would have been all about it.
Yeah.
But he got too big too quickly, and he kept doing the same bit way too quickly and too often. Like I like Jojo Rabbit. I think that's a good movie. I like Thor Ragnarok. That's a good movie. What We Do in the Shadows is fantastic, I think. Just never got around.
I love the movie so much.
Just never got around to Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, if you ever give it a shot.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch it before Taika's next movie comes out, if it comes out.
What's that one?
Next Goal Wins with Michael Fassbender. He's like a schlubby U.S. soccer coach that gets sent to, I think, some Samoan island to teach soccer to a team that has a incredible losing streak.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the trailer's out for it. It's supposed to come out at some point in the latter half of the year, but it's been slated to come out for I think like 2 years now, and it just keeps getting moved for no reason. Not even because of the strike that's going on, but it might get pushed again because of the strike.
Yuck. Fuck.
But nobody's talking about it because, again, like, Taika Waititi's in such this weird zeitgeist right now because he just kept doing the same thing too often. You know, the same Taika Waititi humor.
Yeah.
And I think got too big of an ego boost because of it, I feel like. Especially after Jojo Rabbit was such an Oscar baby.
Yeah.
But again, I'll still check it out. I don't hate Taika Waititi, but he's got that show.
It's fun. It's a fun little watch.
Yeah, he's got that show Reservation Dogs on Hulu that he produces. I've seen
I want to watch that real bad.
I've seen most of the first season. I haven't watched seasons 2 yet, and I think they finished the show already with season 3. I think it got 3 seasons.
Okay.
But that was pretty good. I like that one. That's a good teen series. Yeah. 3 seasons.
Hell yeah. I'm going to have to watch that. That's been on my radar for a hot second.
Yeah, no, it's real good. I liked it a lot from what I've seen.
Hell yeah.
Okay. The Fly.
We gotta spin a wheel pretty soon. We do have to.
We're hour 15, so we're killing it for time. We're making up for the shorter past few episodes.
Yeah, well, we had 2 movies. We had The Flies.
We did have The Flies and Gran Turismo to talk about.
Gamer to racer.
Yeah. So
to fly.
Out of 10, how do you feel about The Fly? Jeff Goldblum.
Honestly, probably a 9.
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
I love it. I thoroughly enjoyed this watch.
14 out of 16.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I gave this just a flat 10 out of 10. When a movie can make me just like go to bed because there's nothing else I can do after.
Yeah.
Like I go to bed pretty late in the night anyway. But I just didn't know what else to do. Like this movie just put me in such a fucking mood where I couldn't do anything else. So for that reason alone, you know, it just fucked me up. It fucked me up for the rest of the night.
They made me too horny at the beginning with Jeff Goldblum, and then they did whatever they did to me in the last act. Well, fuck them, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to bed. 10 out of 10. Fuck them.
For me, 10 out of 10, I think.
Hell yeah.
Favorite movie I watched in August.
Yeah?
Absolutely fantastic. Now, are both of these movies slightly off? Are they Weirdo Watchlist movies?
I would say this one would it fits the weirdo-ness with just how fucked up it gets. I think the David Cronenberg one for sure.
I think
I don't know about the old one.
I think the ending of the old one where it is revealed that he is a fly but with a human head and a human arm. I think that sells it for being a weirdo movie for me.
Yeah. I mean, and for the 50s, if you're taking that into consideration, I'm not comparing it. If I'm not comparing this fly to the other fly in weirdness, then it's a weird ass 50s creature feature. Yeah. So does it belong on the list? I'd say probably. Yeah. I'll go with
Cronenberg's, I think without a doubt, is just a fucking just bizarre movie. My older brother does not like the movie, but he's also got very specific tastes. So. He said 1 minute of Jeff Goldblum in briefs is enough for him to watch the rest of this weird, freaky nerd sex movie, is what he put.
Hell yeah. So and that sells everybody.
That's all I needed to know. Yeah.
You, right? You know? Jeffrey. Okay. The Fly. The Weirdo Flies.
The Weirdo Flies. Now is the time to pick a new movie. Pick a new movie for us to watch.
The Wheel. I'm excited to search it.
All right. Wheel movie time. All right. Now,
it's a wheel movie.
It's a wheel movie. All right. Spinning the wheel. And we have number 58, Valley of the Gods. Let me pull that up real quick. That's the wrong one. I put up the fucking poster for Ring Zero on accident.
Oh, not again, please.
Yeah. Dude, fucking fan of the show Vince. Here it is, Valley of the Gods. Fan of the show Vince watched all of the Ring movies, the Japanese ones.
Right. Poor guy.
Why would he do that? I told him he only had to watch Ringu to watch Ring Zero, and then he went and watched the other ones. Crazy guy.
I should have just listened. Well, if you wanted to watch it before you listened, then I suppose. But otherwise, just listen to the podcast. And
he texted me if he needs to watch like any of the other ones to watch Ring Zero, and I told him like, just Ringu.
Just
and that's it.
Like, all of it.
All of it.
I need to watch all of it.
Did all of them in one day too, and then fucking hated all of them. Except for Ringu and Gore Verbinski's The Ring. We're bringing Gore back into conversation.
We gotta.
Managed to do it last second. Okay. Valley of the Gods from 2019. This is a new one. Okay. A mix of fantasy and sci-fi. The film entwines Navajo lore with a reclusive trillionaire and his would-be biographer, creating a fascinating, mysterious, and idiosyncratic vision of America. Starring Josh Hartnett from Oppenheimer. And John Malkovich? I bet he's the billionaire. John Rhys Davies. Yeah, fucking Gimli's in the movie too. This is insane. It is on Tubi with ads for free, and it's also on Peacock. So
interesting.
If you got Peacock, you can watch it on Peacock. It's on Tubi, and it's on Redbox. If anybody uses Redbox to watch movies.
No.
I used Redbox to watch a movie, digital Redbox, not to go to an actual fucking machine and leave the house, because I didn't want to pay $4 to watch Over the Hedge, so instead I paid $3.50 and went to Redbox to stream it there.
You saved that money.
I saved that money, yeah. Okay, yeah, but Peacock, Tubi, Valley of the Gods from 2019 by Lech Majewski. I'm gonna learn how to pronounce that properly.
Okay.
What else has he done? Nothing that I've ever recognized. Looks.
I just clicked through the trailer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Way bigger than I just expected it to be like an indie movie for some reason, but it's got like big old set pieces, big old grand, lavish, weird ass shit.
Not a lot of people have seen this movie either. It's only got 727 people have seen it.
All right. Well, we're gonna watch it.
We're gonna watch it.
Think it's weird, probably.
Maybe we didn't think Ring Zero was that weird. Only in context that it fucking ruins the lore of the series. But hey, we've got the other sequels somewhere on the list too to worry about, so maybe we'll land on those sometime.
All right. Well, Valley of the Gods.
Valley of the Gods.
I'll be watching that in Best Buy parking lot. So that's cool.
And I will not, because I'm not allowed to.
I mean,
unless I do it during the daytime. If I do it while you're working, you're gonna report me for crime. Yeah.
You can't loiter here, son. You gotta move on.
Yep. Okay. Valley of the Gods. We'll be watching that. Repeat that for the 4th time. We are on Twitter and Letterboxd now. Of course, each of us individually. Sam Fashion and just my real name on Letterboxd and Twitter, but the podcast is also now on Letterboxd and Twitter. We are at Weirdo Watch Pod, because Weirdo Watchlist Podcast is too long for most sites, so I shortened it. But yeah, find us Weirdo Watch Pod. That's where updates and stuff will be found, and of course links to each episode. So yeah, I've got nothing else to add.
I got nothing else to add except for y'all. You should go see Golda. And The Equalizer 3 is out now.
I don't think I'm gonna see that.
I think that's gonna be one I skip too, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's okay, Denzel.
Yeah, we'll be here either next week or the week after, depending on if we can figure out a time to record, because that proved difficult the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, and now I have a job or two.
Yeah, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, dude.
If we need to go every other week, we'll do it. Just for our sake.
We're on no time limit. What we got a manager to fucking report to now?
It's just us. Anyway, I'm gonna stop the recording. So
Bye guys.
Bye.